3070, I don't care. Although, you know what? I am surprised that they released the embargo today for this. Why wouldn't they have waited until... Like, because now everybody knows how this performs. That was a mistake. So, if this performs the same as a 2080 Super, what does this have? This has 46 SM Ampere. If all bignavi has to do is release like a 6700 XT with what was it, Vega 56 SM for $500, and that'll fucking destroy it, dude. That'll annihilate that shit for 8 gigs of RAM. The 3070 is it's the same thing. It's the same thing what happened with the 2080 Super to 2080 Ti was a 48 SM to 68 SM jump. This is too big of an SM jump. Like, so from a 3070 to a 3080 is way too big of a fucking jump. Like they should have made the 3070 like 50 SMs or 52 or something. Like, why did they make it 46? That's a 24 SM gap that AMD can just slot themselves into. Like, they fucked that up. Although we do know that they're yeah, but they test out of the box. You have to go to Gamers Nexus. You're essentially comparing it against a stock 250 watt. Yeah, exactly. What is it? Gamers Nexus. 3070 Founders Edition. I'm gonna bring this up more here. Give me a sec. Yeah, so you can see it a bit better. So check this out.
These aren't superior.
Yeah, you can see that. So look at the numbers for the Strix OC. You know, yeah, you can't do that, man. Like, so the thing is, the problem with testing stock for stock, like a fewer SM, like what is it? The 3070 has 46 SM, 2080 Ti has 68 SM, right? So this one is going to scale way farther with more power. You know what I mean? So let's say if you let's say these both have 250 watt TDPs, they're going to be similar because they're both limited by the 250 watts, right? That's what you're seeing in those stock benchmarks. But if you increase both of these to 350 watts, this one's gonna it's gonna pull farther away. Do you know what I mean? Because it has more SMs to shove more clock speed into. You know what I mean? That's essentially what you're seeing here. Is you're gonna see the 2080 Ti pull way the fuck ahead when you give a little bit more power. So all these Nvidia knew that shit from like Turing launch. You know what I mean? So they when they launched the 2080 Ti at 250 watts, they know that the next generation is gonna be like, hey, we can advertise the 3070 as 250 watts, and they'll be the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. And man, this goes back to mainstream Techmedia, not. It's not false advert. I don't know what you call it. Oh man, but see the problem with that argument, 500 pounds for 3070. Can't you get a 2080 Ti for 500 pounds now? Or how much are those used in the market over there? It's not misleading. I don't know what the. It's like they're not doing their due diligence by letting the customer know how they overclock. Like, throwing a graphics card in a system and leaving it alone, like, it's such a bad representation of what the card is capable of. That's the problem, you know what I mean? No, no way in hell. No. That's wrong too. A 2080 Ti will destroy a 3070 in ray tracing. It has more SMs. It has 20% more SMs than the 3070 does. And Ampere ray tracing isn't 20% better. At most they would tie. Let's see. That's the other thing. That's why it's not misleading though as well. Because like 90% of the humans just throw it in and leave it. That's the, I don't know, man. I guess that's why I made my YouTube channel in the first place though, because like Gamers Nexus is the only guy that kind of does what I want them to do. You know what I mean? So like you can see right here that he at least tried to, you know, increase the core clock and memory clock, and you get like a 10 FPS bump here, right? So then that's okay. Here's a good example. Here's a good example. The 3070 stock was 67 FPS. The 3070 overclocked was 70 FPS. So that's a 3 FPS difference, right? You take the 2080 Ti 76.5 to 83.5. That's 8 FPS. So do you see what I was saying? If you give the 2080 Ti more power, it's going to pull away. That's what I was talking about. That's why Gamers Nexus does he does a mainstream plebby job. Like, no, that's not the right. He does a digestible job. Like a mainstream digestible way of explaining this. Do you know what I mean? That's it. So if you watch Jay's 2 Cents or Hardware Unboxed, all their reviews are the 3070 is the same as 2080 Ti. Which is true. But like we know it's not true, but it is true. Like I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Like at least if you look at Gamers Nexus, it shows a little bit of the truth. It shows more of the truth. I want to say, right? Yeah, exactly. That's actually a fantastic way to word it. Actually, there's yeah, a non-warranty burning approach to Project Draven is now following. Hey, welcome to the community, my friend. We'll get into the fanboy talk later, I'm sure. But what I was saying, yeah. So if you are a hardcore gamer or overclocker, Gamers Nexus is going to have a much more accurate representation of what's going on. Accurate to the context, it being digestible to the mainstream, right? So we know, like, you know that like a 2080 Ti can match a 3080 if you power mod the shit out of it. You know that from my content, right? A 3070 power modded won't come anywhere close to a 3080 because it has less SMs. So any smart individual that finds my channel and knows this information, they would use this to their advantage as like a gamer, right? They would be like, they would go to their local Craigslist or Facebook marketplace or whatever, and then they would be like lowballing all the 2080 Ti owners. I was doing that today, actually. I was fucking messaging 2080 Ti's, and then I was like, bro, 3070 is gonna make that shit obsolete, bro. You gotta sell that shit to me for cheap. $300, man. Just, and they're telling me like fucking kill myself and shit. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, so like if you're smart about it and you know that the 2080 Ti has way more headroom in it, you'll message those people and then you'll be like, hey, sell me your 2080. If you were like fucking 40 chess, if you could get your hands on a 3070 and then offer it to a 2080 Ti buyer as a straight trade. I wonder if that would work. What? That would be a good video idea. Just see if I could get away with that shit. Hang on, let me catch up to the chat here. GN's good. GN's fine, but you know what the problem with GN was? I remember when I used to watch GN a couple of years back, when he was doing his 9900K benchmarking content, he didn't actually show what he overclocked the cache to. So the whole time, all of his 9900K numbers, are 5.1 gigahertz, but a 4.0 cache with like 3200 megahertz of RAM. You know what I mean? So even though it says 5.1, smart people still know, like even here, look. He doesn't show what the cache is. He doesn't show what the timings are. You have no fucking clue. You know what I mean? Like like these guys aren't pushing these CPUs far enough to make the deltas of the graphics cards wider. You know what I mean? That's the biggest problem. Yeah, that's my opinion though, right? Like everyone's gonna do their own, like I'm sure he has, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's why that's why my own numbers are drastically different from everybody else's, because this is like, me seeing this as a customer and as like a consumer was unacceptable. You know what I mean? I need that shit. I need my shit overclocked way further than this. You know what I mean? Way further. I'm hurting for that 500 watt BIOS on my For the Win 3 Ultra. Oh yeah, dude. Does it not Courser? Does it not work on your whatchamacallit, your For the Win 3? Dude, the PCI Express slot thing, actually, you know, if you're watching my videos, you know how I was doing that MP5 Works backplate testing stuff? So I went back and I was like, okay, I'm gonna, even though I double checked it so many times, I was reading the EVGA forums and I was like, there's so many people that don't believe my results, right? They're like, that's impossible. That's impossible. That's impossible. And then I was like, okay, if this many people, you know what's funny? When you have a set reality of some sort and you have the entire world telling you you're wrong, it almost makes you second guess your reality a bit. So anyway, I went back and I tested it again. So I flashed the 3080 BIOS back on my like the XC3 BIOS back on my 3080, ran benchmarks. I flashed the 450 watt 888 pin back on this card, and my Firestrike score went up 2,000 points, and it was pulling away. Like my numbers are confirmed. So like it's literally all linked to that PCI Express slot. All of it. It's literally, I don't know if it's just EVGA cards or what, but it's fucking, dude. And you know, it's actually, you know what's funny? It's actually safer to shunt all the shunts rather than just the PCI Express one. You know what I mean? So that way it actually load balances itself from the entire board and not just the PCI Express one. But it was still fine because my Apex has the Molex connector for PCI Express slots, right? Rumored 3080 Ti, yes. This is what I was just talking about. Dude, 3080 is 10 gigabyte, 68 SM. So, and the 3090 has 82 SM. This is, I wish they fucking released this one at launch, because I would have just gotten this one instead of this. Because like 4 SMs is going to be a non-issue. 4 SMs doesn't make a fucking difference. We know this from the 2080 Ti to the Titan RTX. 2080 Ti was 68 and Titan RTX was 72 SM. And they performed exactly the same. It made no fucking difference at all, right? This is gonna be easier to cool because there's no memory chips on the back. It's gonna overclock farther. It's going, like, this is gonna be the card to get, man. They should have, like, it's frustrating. Like, this is the one that I would have bought for me and my wife. I wouldn't have spent the extra $700 for 24 gigs of RAM because I don't give a shit. I don't need that much RAM, you know what I mean? I don't fucking need it. If you don't have a 3080 yet, this is gonna be, I mean, it's not confirmed either though. That's the other thing. It's not confirmed. Assuming this is true, this is gonna be the fucking Halo for sure. And depending on price, I would assume $1,000 or $1,100 or something like that, right? But even like $1,100 versus $1,600, this is a much better deal for 99% of the performance. All you're losing is 12 gigs of RAM. That's all you're losing. You know what I mean? It's a much better deal. Hang on, I'm just catching up on chat. One sec. There was a 980 Ti as well. 980 Ti. There was a 780 Ti. So 780 Ti, 980 Ti, 1080. There was always a Ti model. Always. It just depends on when they actually released it, right? Turing was the only one that released the Ti at the same time. All the other ones were maybe 4 or 5 or 6 months after. That's the only difference. Yeah, I don't doubt 1200. It would depend on what bignavi will cost. If bignavi costs $700, if bignavi costs $700 for this, they can't charge $1,200 for this. What would the advertising angle be? It has less RAM, less SM, higher power draw. Like there's no marketing angle that they could, even though that all the gamers would know that it's faster, to the mainstream pleb, they can't advertise this for $1,200. It makes no sense. They're gonna walk into Micro Center, see this for $700 and pick this one up. That's a $500 difference. Like, it's by AMD going the 256-bit 16GB route, they kind of fuck Nvidia over a little bit with the VRAM sizing. I don't think you can use like asynchronous sizes of VRAM, so it's not like they can use half the chips with 1 gig and then half the chips with 2. I don't think it works that way. I could be wrong. I have no idea. I doubt it works that way. Exactly. So if it's 12 gigs and it's on the front, dude, that's gonna be way easier to cool, overclock way farther, pull way less power. Like the 3080 Ti is gonna be the fucking champ, the gaming champ for sure. And you can clock this shit way higher too, because this isn't gonna suck up all your power budget anymore. So the 3090 is gonna be better if you power mod it, obviously, 'cause just remove the power limits. But if you are power limited, this is gonna be the best one. Just like the 2080 Ti was better than the Titan because it had the higher power limits, right? The Titan had like a 250 watt power limit with 72 SMs. They couldn't do shit. One sec. Am I the still waiting meme if I sell an open 3080? I don't know, man. Probably. I would say that's waiting meme. Does Twitch have the waiting meme? I don't think it does. Fuck. Maybe not. Okay, you know what? If you sold your 3080 for profit, like if you scalped it, then that would be a smart move. not a waiting move. You know what I mean? But I know you better. You know what I mean? Like your reasoning behind it is waiting, not for the money. You know what I mean? That's why you're doing it. So even though to the world it wouldn't be waiting meme, it's waiting meme. It's waiting meme. You know what I mean? Was a smart move, dude, because if they released the 3080 Ti at the same time as the 3090, nobody would have bought it, dude. Fucking nobody. I guarantee it. Nobody would have bought that shit. I wouldn't have bought that shit. I don't, you know what I mean? Like they threw a $1,600 price tag on it, justified it with 24 gigs of RAM, and then called it a Titan replacement, which is completely not. You know what I mean? It's not a Titan. It's a Titan in-betweener. It's a 90 class card. That's what it is. It's a 90. It's exactly what it's advertised as, a 90 class card. It's not a 2080 Ti replacement, because this other one is going to be. Not this. Oh man, I just erased it. The 78 SM1 with 12 gigs of RAM is going to be the 2080 Ti replacement. The 90 class one isn't a Titan because it doesn't have Titan drivers, but it's also too high to be a 2080 Ti replacement. So it slots perfectly into a 90 class. It's 90. I don't think Nvidia did anything wrong by I think where Nvidia went wrong was them marketing the 3090 as Titan class. That's bullshit. They should have just said it was 90 class, and that would have been fine. It's a 90 class. Even though historically 90s have been dual GPUs, but like it feels like a 90 class. Like it's like a little bump over a Ti, you know what I mean? If you look at like 1070 Ti or the 60 Ti's of past, the lower tier Ti is always kissing the one right above it, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what this is going to be. The 3080 Ti is going to be kissing a 3090 for much less money. That's exactly what it's always like that. There's no surprises here, you know what I mean? And then the Titan, when it comes out, is going to be 84 SM, probably 48 gigabyte of whatever RAM they fucking use. Maybe they'll use HBM or some shit, who knows? The Volta had HBM, right? But that's what that's going to be. And then it'll actually have the pro drivers and all that shit, right? But the 3090 is not a Titan. It's not a Titan. My biggest question on the 3080 Ti is when. I don't know, dude. I have no idea. If we're seeing leaks about it now, let's see here. They're not gonna release the 3080 Ti so close as to piss off 3080 buyers, though. It's gonna be at least 6 months from now. Especially since they're like already taping it out now. Let's see here. Jesus, new spec of yeah, it doesn't say anything about when it would release. But I mean, if Big Navi spanks the shit out of the 3080, you could see it really soon. Wait for tomorrow. What's the 3070 Ti though? How many CUDAs is that gonna have? A new spec of GA102? Another GA102? Oh man, the 3070 Ti is gonna be the champ then. It's gonna be just like the 3070 Super, or the 2070 was on the 106 die, and then they made the 2070 Super on the 104 die, and then if you power modded the 104 2070 Super, it fucking shot way out of the way of the 2070. Like the 2070 was such a shit card compared to the 2070 Super. So like, if they release a 3070 Ti on a GA102 die, this thing is gonna be dead on arrival completely. Oh, hang on. God damn it, stop. Why does it keep opening tweets up? Hang on. 7424 divided by 2 divided by 64. Oh, so the 3070 Ti is gonna have 58 SMs. That's perfect. And 10 gigs of G6X. Yeah, this is... Don't get a... If anyone in here is watching right now, do not get a 3070. Wait for this one. Ah, fuck. The waiting meme, dude. It never ends. Jesus Christ. Just always waiting. As if you have a choice anyway. Good luck trying to get one. Yeah, the TIs always come out 6 months later. It depends. So do you see how Nvidia is what's the word? Premeditating a response to Big Navi? Don't be surprised if these come out in like 3 months, dude. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, don't be surprised at all. Nvidia gets on that shit fast. Oh shit, we got a sub. B4G Kagan. Subscribe with Prime. Thanks so much, dude. I have a few buttons that I can press for you. Do you want to slap some fanboys, or do you want to fuck Elmer Fudd? That's pretty much all I can offer you, dude. That's hilarious. Let's do an Elmer Fudd first.
Looking like a double-wide surprise. God damn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, AMD Clockspeeds. So the thing is, what I wanted to get into, it's all going to depend. So, you know, okay. Ampere 3080. You know that the 3080 runs at 1900 megahertz out of the box, right? Something like that. Let's say 1950. 1950 with the power limit slider all the way up, right? If bignavi 80 CU, man, I don't know if 2400 is even realistic with that many CUs, but let's say out of the box, realistically, let's say 2200 megahertz. That still seems high though, fuck. I don't know, okay, let's just say 2200, let's just say. Even though I doubt this is gonna be possible without water cooling, but okay, whatever, let's just say. The thing about clock speeds and out of the box performance, like, he who has the lower clock speed has the more headroom. Do you know what I mean? So like, even though this is on a shittier, so it's the exact same argument as Zen and Intel. Like, the exact same argument. So because AMD structures their products like Zen 2 has that whole PBO shit where like the one core will go to like fucking 10 gigahertz and then like the other ones will go to like 1 gigahertz, and somehow they get by with this shit. So then like you can't do anything with it. It doesn't matter how much voltage you throw into it. It doesn't matter how much power you give it. This is gonna be the best that it can do, regardless. Do you know what I mean? So, same thing that's gonna happen with this, I'm gonna assume. So, if they got 2200 megahertz out of the factory, where are you gonna go with that? Assuming this is how high a boost. I don't know, but like, it's what did they advertise, 2400 or some shit, and then some guy at Igor's lab got 2450. That had to have been like an air conditioner or some shit, right? But even if Big Navi clocks to 2400 megahertz out of the box, where do you go from that? You don't go anywhere. That's it. Do you know what I mean? So like, if this is the 3080's number at 1950 and this is Big Navi's number at 2400, dude, you like, this isn't gonna go any higher. It is what it is. You're fucking maxed out, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not, that's not even like a power limit issue, that's a architectural node issue. So even if, like, it's the exact same thing with Zen. So even if you unlock bignavi to like 1,000 watts, you might get 2,500? Like the physical silicon itself cannot switch any faster than that. It's not a power limit issue, it's a fucking silicon issue, you know what I mean? It's the exact same thing with Zen, where if you try to go from 4.4 to 4.5 gigahertz, it just can't do it. It literally cannot do it. You could shove like 1.6 volts into that bitch and it's just not gonna go anywhere. It cannot do it, you know what I mean? It's a silicon limitation, not a power one, you know what I mean? So this is what you have to be careful with. If you see really huge ass boost clocks from bignavi tomorrow, then AMD's literally pushing that shit as far as it can, and Nvidia almost did that as well. But at least we know if you do power mod a 3080, you can get like 2200 out of it. You know what I mean? It just draws a shitload of power, but the silicon itself can do it. Like the 8 nanometer Samsung node can go to 2.2. It's power limited. That's the problem, right? Whereas Navi, it's not power limited because it's on a better node, right? But the silicon can't go any faster. That's what I'm trying to explain with all this. What I'm trying to say here. Any theories why Turing Ampere doesn't scale? Turing does, Ampere not so much, and it just comes down to heat density, dude. If you watch my previous videos, as soon as I put okay, so when I power modded my so I did my 3080 benchmarks, right? Then I power modded it with the air cooler. The temperatures went up to like 85°C right away on that shitty ass stock cooler or whatever. And then if you don't control, because those chips are so dense, if you don't control the heat on them, there's no scaling because it just goes too hot. If you watch my very first video on when I installed the water block on it, it went to 2200 right away. Out of the box. I didn't even touch the power slider. 2200, because you're cooling the heat density of the actual chip, so then it actually does scale with voltage then. So you have to understand that. Let me show you. No, not notepad, paint. We're getting some paint out here. Okay, let me explain this here. Oh my god. Turing, let's say, is 12 nanometer. This is the silicon die. Holy shit, give me a paintbrush. This is a silicon die. And let's say the SMs are spaced out like this. Just for example, right? When you put in a voltage number, like let's say you put in 1.0 volt, these SMs have this much space around them to dissipate the heat. Does that make sense? Now, if you have an Ampere die, and let's say the SMs are spaced like this, because it's an 8 nanometer node. Right? Do you see where I'm going with this? And you put in 1 volt of heat into it, and I'm just saying a voltage number is a direct correlation to heat. Where the fuck is that heat gonna go? That's why it doesn't scale. There's literally no way to dissipate that shit. So it's just not gonna clock as high. It cannot clock as high. You put a water block on this bitch, you cool all these down so they don't radiate to each other. Clock speed skyrocket. It's the same reason why when I put liquid metal on my Turing die, so like that's gonna be one of my future videos. Subscribe to YouTube and stay tuned over there. So when I put liquid metal on this die, it's gonna scale even further because there's not gonna be any hot spots. Your literal entire goal. So the more we shrink the node, the more it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. That's why Intel chips are so fucking hard to cool, right? The more we shrink, the more we just fucking jam in there, the more science we need to extract the heat from it. That's all that is, dude. So like, even with Intel shaving down their die, like they shaved down their 10900K die, right? Even though they shaved it down, you still get a performance benefit by putting liquid metal on top of this thing to just get the fucking heat out. You know what I mean? That's why if you delid and liquid metal, even if the temperatures are the same, you'll get 100 megahertz higher because it's getting the heat out of there faster. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So, watch what happens with 5 nanometer, man. We're gonna have, that's why they used liquid metal on the PlayStation 5. That's the exact reason. It can boost higher if you get the fucking heat out of the chip, right? It doesn't matter that the PlayStation 5 cooler is this brick of copper or whatever. If they used regular thermal paste, it would take too long for the heat to get out of the chip and it wouldn't be able to clock to 2.2 or whatever they're saying, right? Does that make sense? That's exactly why they use liquid metal on the PlayStation 5. That's why water coolers on CPUs do such a good job. That's why graphics cards with water blocks always boost way fucking higher. You know what I mean? I hope that answered your question. I wouldn't worry about plus or minus like 50 to 100 megahertz. You're like the difference would be like 5 FPS. Like, who gives a shit, dude? There was this one guy in the Discord that like returned 10 900Ks because he wasn't happy with 5.2 gigahertz and he's trying to get a 5. Like, dude, what the fuck? Just fucking relax. People go to such extreme lengths to get a good bin. It's so ridiculous. You don't need that shit, dude. That's why the whole when Asus announced that they were going to bin their Strix cards, what a brilliant marketing move that was. Just everyone's like, I need to have the good bin. I need the bin. I need to have that 30 megahertz higher. Like, holy fuck, dude. Wait, this is yeah.
Larry, you can't just. Oh, Larry.
That's how I feel when people talk about chip binning, dude. Holy fuck. Or like, dude, people will return like 10 AMD chips to try and get like 4.45 gigahertz on all cores. Like, Jesus Christ. If I was like a company and I saw one dude return like 20 chips to fucking Amazon because he's trying to get 500 megahertz more in a bin, you're literally like you gotta ban these people, man. It's fucking ridiculous. It comes back to wanting what your neighbor has. If your neighbor has one that's 4.45, you gotta have one too. You don't want to be the pleb with 4.35, right? Because that's gonna fucking make you lose in your competitive game. Like, Jesus. Intel leads Ryzen because of the blazing Ringbus. What is your opinion on the X series? I don't know enough about how mesh works. Logically, it makes sense. Like, if you have a ring, it seems much easier for electrons to go in a circle much faster. Like, it just makes logical sense that an electron would be able to go in a straight line like this. And then you have bidirectional ring, right? Mesh, on the other hand, and you have your cores here, it seems much more difficult for an electron to go this way, do a fucking 90-degree. Do you know what I mean? That's like, I could be completely wrong on the physics of this, But this is how I understand it. And that's why the mesh just can't go as fast. But the mesh would scale better in workstation applications because this would draw a lot less power in Cinebench than this guy going all the way around to this guy. You know what I mean? That's why this draws so much less power with higher core counts. But yeah, doing this shit can't clock as high. That's what I think is going on there. I never actually looked into how mesh works. Okay. Where's my old calculator here? My mesh on my chip, or not my mesh, my ring does 4800, 3200. 50%. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Times 1.5. A Ringbus chip can be 50% faster than a mesh chip because of the clock speed. Well, maybe not, because a mesh would get there faster because it's a straight line, you know what I mean? But that's a perfect example of why Ringbus is so fucking fast, right? But it draws a shit ton of power. It is not meant for more cores, man. That shit draws a shit ton of power. This goes back to the argument of, does your computer do what you need it to do, right? So if I'm already getting 300 FPS in Warzone, I've got 400 FPS in fucking Overwatch, right? Those are the two games that I play competitively. What am I gonna, why the hell would I go to 8 cores then? 8 faster ones? It doesn't make any sense. And then any other game that I would play in 4K, which isn't CPU, which is GPU bound anyway. Like, what would Intel releasing an 8 core with a higher IPC actually do? Like, what would it do? What function? The only function that would serve would be for 1080p gaming benchmarks that scale beyond like 500 FPS. Like maybe Counter-Strike and Valorant. If I was a Counter-Strike and Valorant competitive player, then maybe. But for the games I play, no. Why doesn't Intel... I mean, I know why, but why doesn't Intel do a 12-core Ringbus? Who gives a shit? Gamers don't give a shit. Or why don't they do a... If they end up doing a 10-core Rocket Lake, it'll pull like 500 watts, but I would get that one. Because it's 10 cores. That's an upgrade, not a downgrade. I'm not gonna downgrade to less cores. That's so stupid. Especially when I'm like streaming and shit and trying to like deal with music when I'm playing Warzone and all that shit. I need my cores, man. Are you going to try out Zen 3 for curiosity? Maybe. I have to wait and see. With Zen 3, I have to wait and see. So having as much experience as I do with overclocking AMD and Intel platforms, and I've overclocked everything except like HEDT stuff, but everything under the moon I fucking overclocked and tinkered with it. So whenever, and I've been doing this for like fucking 10 years, right? So every time a company releases a product and they release their slides, I'm gonna know exactly how it's gonna perform based on their slides, because I know exactly how the architecture is going to work, right? No, there haven't been any fucking curveballs at all. Like Zen 2 was a little bit of a curveball in the wrong direction. I thought Zen 2 was gonna be way better than it actually was. And now that we have Zen 2 information, we know exactly what Zen 3 is gonna be, right? So as soon as I see those leaked benchmarks of Zen 3, I'm gonna know exactly where it's gonna be. And I already had that video where I was like, Intel is still gonna be faster. I know Intel is still gonna be faster. And the fact that we haven't seen, you know what? Zen 3 leaks. The fact that we haven't seen a single fucking Zen 3 gaming leak, it proves my point right away. How are there no gaming leaks? This, it's been like, dude, it's been 3 weeks since the Zen 3 announcement and not one gaming leak, yet there's all these fucking Cinebench and like Passmark fucking CPU Z leak, like all these synthetic single core bullshit, no gaming leaks. Why? We know why. We fucking know why. It's not, you know what I mean? So my 3950, what the hell? Oh my god, this is paint. What am I doing? My 3950X is in this machine right here. It's my streaming machine. It does all my rendering and video editing, streaming. This thing does everything that I want it to do without a hiccup. Right? So the only the only way I would get a 5950 XT of some sort is if it wins in gaming. Otherwise, why would I bother? Because this does everything already just fine. Like what I use my Ryzen system for is non-gaming based. So this has to, so when I see those AMD slides, I need to see this chip winning by at least 10% in all of those fucking games. And if this chip wins by like 10% in all the things that they show, my Intel chip would still be faster. If this is 20% faster than in all the numbers that they show, then I would get it. This would tie my 10900K, but I would get more cores in PCI Express 4.0, so that would kind of feel like an upgrade. Does that make sense? Like, I'm okay side grading if it comes with more features. But if this is 10% faster, or even like, if this is 15% faster and lower in the numbers that they show, I know mine's already going to be faster. I know right away. I will, and even if you overclock this and memory tune it and all that fucking bullshit, I know mine's gonna be faster. It is what it is. I already have enough experience to tell that, so we'll wait and see. We have to wait and see for gaming leaks. Once gaming leaks come out, or once Gamers Nexus gets his reviews out, and I can look at Gamers Nexus's numbers, then I'll be able to tell you if I'm gonna do this or not. Until then, I don't know, to be honest. Probably not. Because there's no point in me spending fucking $1,000 on this shit. There's no point in me spending $1,000 on this to get less FPS. Do you know what I mean? And this does what I want it to. So I don't need the better rendering. I don't need... There's literally... I hope that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking point in this. Maybe if I was on like a 3600X and this was my gaming machine, okay, yeah, obviously this would be a fantastic purchase, right? But for somebody who's on my system with a 10900K, 5.3, 4.8, 4300, like not a fucking chance, dude. This is gonna lose. It's gonna lose. Gamers Nexus was saying how all the AIB vendors produced like tens of thousands of X299 motherboards, and they have warehouses and warehouses of these motherboards just sitting and doing nothing right now. Why doesn't Intel release like a 1200K? That makes no sense. A 1200K, 12,000K, or something like that. Put it on X299, make it quad channel RAM, and make it Ringbus. It doesn't have to be mesh if it's on X299. You know what I mean? Like, why not? And then give it 40 fucking lanes. They would sell all these motherboards right away. Do you know what I mean? Like, why, like, why does X299 have to be mesh? Or, even if they made, you know how they have 10900X, that's 10 cores? But mesh? Why not just turn this into ring? Even that would be good enough. Just turn it into a ring. X299, quad RAM, 40 lanes. Or like whatever it would be 32 lanes or whatever this one has. Why not? Gaming King, you get all the lanes you want. People that want Ringbus for gaming don't have to compromise their setups for more PCI Express lanes. So if I had this, I could run a fucking RAID card with 4 NVMe drives, and then I would get 14 gigabytes per second RAID NVMe. I don't need PCI Express 4.0 now. It seems like such a no-brainer. Why don't they do this shit? It solves all of their problems. It solves the motherboard overload problem. It solves the gaming problem. It solves the lane problem. Solves the PCI Express 4.0 problem. If they just did this. I don't know. I always have crazy fucking ideas, but there's so many things that I wish Intel would just do, and it would just be so perfect, but they just, do you know what I mean? I feel like they make such stupid fucking decisions that just holds them back so hard. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Even, you know, the 11900K? It's gonna be PCIe 4.0. That's fine. But the biggest upgrade that they're doing to Z590 is 8 DMI lanes. This is the single best decision that they made for Z590. This. And if you can take a 10900K and throw it in a Z590 board, and you actually get 8 DMI lanes, I know it's probably like 90% chance this is not going to happen, but if it did happen, that would be it. This is what I would do, and I would sit on this till the end of time, dude. That's it. You run 2 NVMe drives in RAID, you got your 10 core Ringbus, done. That would be it. That would be fucking it, dude. Yep. Or if they make 1100K with 10 cores, then I will definitely upgrade to this so I get my PCI Express 4.0. Then I definitely would. Knowing Jay's 2 cents, man, he probably uses 3200 C16 fucking trash can RAM, just like every other tech tuber, dude. I don't know why they keep using 3200. It's so fucking ridiculous. Exactly, Monk Jane. Dude. This would solve everything. I would fucking, dude, I would sell everything I own for this. Right away. If they announced this, I'd be like, give me X299 Dark. Give me all those fucking motherboards. Give me quad RAM. Take all my fucking money, dude, right away if they did this. Like, they could do like 10900K KX. That'd be fucking sick. Think of the marketing. We have a KX. No, KXR. No, just KX. Keep it simple, stupid. Dude, that'd be fucking sick. Oh my god, that'd be so sick, dude. They gotta do this shit. But, whatever, they're not gonna do shit. Intel's retarded. Intel is actually a completely stupid company. Look at how AMD just took all their market share. Like, come on, guys. Hire a gamer as like low-level COO of some sort. Like hire a gamer for your mainstream desktop chips, and you'll do way better. You know what I mean? Found this specs. I'm clicking on it. That's Port Royal, dude. That doesn't tell me anything, though. You need like a Fire Strike physics score for a 1090 XE of some sort. But even then, you don't know what RAM they used in share, right? Let's see here. Just reading the chat here. 10th gen killed Intel's X299 pretty much. Intel's X299 killed itself. Like, no, Ryzen killed it. Like, a 3950X is beating a 10980 XE in every single, like 3950X versus 10980 XE. This game is better. It renders better. It draws less power. This literally wins in every single way, shape, and form. So why would you buy this? That we know. I don't know because I haven't tested it. I'm assuming because the mainstream media has told me as such, right? But if they made a 10980K that was like 12 core Ringbus on X299, then we're talking. X299 would not be dead if they did this shit, man. You know what I mean? Does quad channel RAM produce more FPS if same speeds? Depends on the game, but most likely no. We're not bandwidth limited in games. Bandwidth, like dude, a perfect example of that is if you have a 4790K, the Haswell, it's DDR3, right? And you can get DDR3 266 or whatever, and you can get like 40,000 megabytes a second, or gigabytes a second, or whatever the hell it is, right? But you can get the latency down on this chip to like fucking 38 nanoseconds. And then let's say a 10900K gets 70 gigabytes a second, 38 nanoseconds. They would pretty much game the same in terms of memory. If a game was memory hoggish, you know what I mean? They'd pretty much be the same. Like we're not bandwidth limited. The only reason people increase their bandwidth on their RAM is that's an easier way to lower your latency than it is to actually reduce timings. So 10900K, let's say you have 3200 C14, it's easier to buy a 4000 kit that does C16 than it is to do this at like C8. They would perform probably the same, but this is way easier to achieve, and they would both be like 38 nanoseconds. Does that make sense? Like, you don't see anybody doing this shit. That'd be sick, but it doesn't. No chips do that, but chips do this all the time. But they, you know what I mean? So we're not shooting for quad channel bandwidth. We're shooting for latency. That's what it is. We're hitting the 2-hour mark here. Let's maybe do 10 more minutes and then we'll wrap this up. My voice is getting shot here. They hired Ryan Shrout. That guy's not a gamer. That guy, didn't that guy come from Tom's Hardware or some shit? Is that Jay's 2 cents thing? But it's a Port Royal test, man. It's not a Fire Strike test, not a gaming test. Dude, the other problem with Intel is their marketing sucks. Like Intel, Intel started making excuses instead of being like, you know what I mean? Like let's say, so okay, Zen 2 is on 7nm, right? And Intel is on 14nm. But we know that this game is better. So what Intel did is they were like, hey guys, we have 10nm coming. Just wait for that. All they should have done is like, yeah, we're on 14 nanometer and we're still faster. That's it. What the hell are they? Why do they give a shit about what? Like they fucked up, dude. Why did they play AMD's game and be like, we're trying to shoot for a lower nanometer, but our nanometer keeps getting pushed back? Don't play their fucking game. Play your own damn game. Make them go into your lane. Don't go into their lane. Their marketing team fucked this up, dude. They should have just been like, twice the nanometer, twice the speed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are they doing? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. They fucked that shit right up, dude. And now they're like, our 7nm got delayed, guys. Stock price plummets by like 20% or some shit. Like, come on, Intel. Just you don't even have to innovate. Just make the faster product. Make a fucking 10900 KS that clocks at 5.2 and 4.8 ring right out of the fucking gate. And then you keep the crown right away. Just do that shit. Who cares? And then be like, 14nm still reigns supreme. Then you could have been like, we'll innovate when AMD catches up. They could have sat on their fucking throne and bossed it up. But they gave in to the fear, and they just gave in, man. They fucking played it. AMD got them. AMD got them on the marketing, not the actual product. You know what I mean? I got my Viper Steel 4400. Exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, increasing bandwidth, increasing memory bandwidth is the best way to reduce your latency. That's what it is, right? Ryan Shrout joined Intel as chief performance strategist. Well, he fucking failed, didn't he? Holy shit. Clearly that guy does not game. If he gamed, he would have been pushing the gaming angle way harder. You know what I mean? Why? Performance strategist? How does it even work? You're just like, yeah guys, don't worry, our 10M is coming. Just wait. We're gonna have great performance in our 10nm, guys. Our 10nm matches TSMC's 7nm. Like, you fucking failed, dude. You fucked right up. Yeah, that's just the way it is, though. I mean, it's the same. It's the exact same reason why mainstream tech media. It's the same reason why they all think Ryzen is so good. Because they don't know, it's mainstream. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know, man. I don't know. You have to. They don't play games. They don't fucking play games. Mainstream tech media, Intel, Lisa Su, fucking Radeon, all these companies don't fucking play games. The only company that does is Nvidia. They fucking play, dude. You can tell. You can tell. Every single word out of Jensen's mouth is fucking liquid gold to gamers, dude. Gold. Every single marketing piece of fucking DLSS, ray tracing, gigabytes of RAM. Dude, these guys play fucking games. These other companies don't do shit when it comes to gaming. Do you know what I mean? They don't fucking play games, dude. You think Jay's 2 cents fucking plays Overwatch competitively or Warzone competitively? No, man, he plays fucking Clash of Clans and what's that fucking boat war game, whatever the fuck he advertises. World of Warships. You think he fucking knows how fast like a gamer can go? Dude, they don't know shit. It is what it is. Intel should have literally hired somebody from Nvidia to do their marketing for them. Because literally, that's it. Then they wouldn't be where they are today in terms of the mainstream. They wouldn't have such a low mind share if they hired somebody from Nvidia to do their marketing for them. Yeah, dude, I'm almost done streaming, Chamber. 5 more minutes and I'm out of here. My throat's already shot. Anyone have any thoughts on DX12U SFS feature for saving VRAM space? I have no idea what that is. I will look into that on Saturday's stream though. Probably not his fault, too much bureaucracy. That's true too. If that is true, Intel has way too much bureaucracy for that shit and way too much shareholder shit. That's the reason why Jim Keller left too. Personal reasons. It's bureaucracy. But if you hear and listen about backdoor backroom dealings with Nvidia and stuff, the one constant that Nvidia does have, even though like, check this out. Intel, in order to make it a change in their roadmap, it goes like this. Like, it takes a long time for Intel to make a different roadmap. If Nvidia needs to change something, they just fucking do it instantly. There is no lag time whatsoever in Nvidia's decisions. They will literally think of a product and fucking make it happen in like 6 months time. Do you know what I mean? That's like it's a very nimble company. There's no bureaucracy. Whatever Jensen says, Jensen does, man. He does whatever the fuck he wants. And this is the benefit of having a leader that games. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Jensen fucking nerds out in his basement, dude. There's no way. Like, Jensen made that company in like the fucking 70s or 80s or whatever, making the first 3D card or whatever, his partnership. He's like, dude, we need to make better fucking gaming cards. I want to fucking play this space sim in my basement better. You know what I mean? Like, he knows, dude. He fucking knows. He knows exactly what he's doing. Intel has like some fucking bean counter that like, it's like some marketing like treasurer of money, like doing it. Like, they don't fucking know shit, dude. They don't know anything. They don't know a damn fucking thing. I'm not interested in LN2. Liquid nitrogen in itself has a much different skill set that I know nothing about. You have to if you go into your BIOS, there's a whole separate LN2 section, like boot voltages, how hot to keep your chip or how warm to keep your chip in between boots and shit. Like, they're like, LN2 overclocking requires a completely different skill set, and I'm actually not interested in it at all. I'm a gamer. I'm I'm not a hardcore overclocker. I don't really care. Like, if you bench something on liquid nitrogen and you get a score, that does nothing for me in Overwatch, dude. I'm a gamer first. I like as fast as possible on ambient is what I'm after. I need the edge to fucking shoot people first. I don't need, you know what I mean? That's I see the appeal in it. It is fun to break records and benchmark and stuff, but I'm still more of a gamer rather than a hardcore overclocker, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean you can't use their knowledge to your benefit, though. That's the key. You have to use the XOC knowledge to get that edge in gaming. That's literally what my whole channel is about, dude. Get that fucking edge, you know what I mean? If they ever come out with, like, you know, do you remember in the early 2000s when they actually had phase change CPU cooling? And this kind of was a fad for a few years, and it kind of died off a little bit because it was just a little too complicated to make run. Like, you have to like Vaseline and like putty the back of your CPU block and shit. But you can get like minus 70 degrees on your CPU like daily, you know what I mean? That'd be fucking sweet, dude. You know what? That would be fucking cool to try out. Hang on a second. Before we close this off, phase change CPU. Can you still buy them? You can still buy them. That's expensive though. It's basically like a mini, it's like a mini air conditioner that uses the air conditioning stuff to just like freeze your fucking CPU. That's cool. Yeah, dude, this is something that I am not opposed to trying one day. Out of stock, look at that. Somebody's been buying this shit. Yeah. Minus 30C. Evaporator temperature can reach minus 25C automatically on PC. Yeah, dude, this is something that I'm extremely interested in because you can run this daily. Even though it's not ambient, you can run this if you're smart about it, you can run this in a daily system. And this was all the rage in the mid 2000s. And it kind of died off. I guess it was just too expensive and too complicated, but this is something I would do in my case. I would. If I had enough money to spend on this shit, right? Later, Steve. Thanks for coming by, man. Nvidia cares about customers? No, they don't. No, they don't. It's all about stocks, man. Not Peltiers are garbage. I tried Peltiers already. Nvidia doesn't give a shit about you, man. They're just... Nvidia has gamers that are on staff. They know exactly what to say, when to say it to take your money. That's why they keep fucking winning, because they actually do have gamers on staff. They're not dumb, dude. In Jensen's Ampere, in his Ampere keynote, I remember the specific words that he said was Pascal was a perfect 10, and then he was like, Pascal owners, it's safe to upgrade. And I remember when he said that, it like gave me tingles a little bit, and then like 5 seconds later I snapped out of it, and I was like, oh no, dude. I was like, holy fuck, dude. Like, everyone is like this is gonna be a fucking slaughterhouse for these cards. Because like, if I got the tingles, dude, I can't even imagine what the regular human felt as he said those words, dude. Like, holy shit, dude. They are fucking gods at marketing, dude. Gods. Yeah, exactly. You just take an old fucking refrigerator AC unit of some sort and you can build one yourself. But again, what would I get out of it? I'd maybe get like maybe I'd be able to get like 5.5 gigahertz daily. That would be pretty cool. I wouldn't see much of a difference though. For the risk. Yeah, Peltier doesn't. I've tried Peltier route before. I tried. But Der Bauer did a video on it too, where he put a whole bunch of Peltiers in series with each other to try and cool the coolant down. I had like a 300 watt Peltier that I tried to put in my loop, and it did absolutely nothing. It just drew power for nothing. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Rucka. Fucking A, dude. As soon as he said those words, you're like, I'm gonna upgrade my 2080 Ti now. Like, oh my god, dude. Fuck. Jensen is... Dude, hang on. Before we call this stream, let's relive this fucking moment together. Hang on. Oh my god, dude. Nvidia Ampere. Oh my god, dude. Hang on. Hang on. Dude, my god. Just take all my fucking money. But like, I had to like go back and like look at the slides like 4 times to be like, you're full of shit. You know what I mean? But like, dude, fuck, god. Marketing is fucking AIDS, dude. Holy shit. Marketing is such AIDS. Thanks, Newman. Fucking get in there and support me, guys. Give me your money so I can phase change. That would be a sick project, though. That would be such a sick project. Yeah, anyway, fuck. That was a good stream. Any last questions before we call this? That was awesome. What are we at? Damn, we're almost at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Fucking, you guys stuck around a long ass time. Holy shit. I usually like to cut it off at 2 hours because my voice gets shot. Later, Synergy. Thanks for coming. Synerynsk. I don't know why I said Synergy. Yeah, dude. All right, guys. If there are no further questions, I'll chop this up, repaste it on YouTube later. But thanks everyone for coming. Hit that button that Newman posted and give me your money. Also, I'm gonna have affiliate links for Amazon, so if you ever do buy shit from Amazon, just like use my affiliate link and I get like a 10% commission anyway. It's fucking sick. It's like a free way to support me. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming, and I will see you in the next one. Wait. One more thing. Wait, my button's not...
This little rabbit's hopping down the old bunny trail.
Later, everybody. Thanks for coming by. See you later. See you Saturday.